Hi guys, Jen Terrio from Warrior Rewild, and today we're going to talk a little bit about what the protocols and plans I have for this new project. So if you watched the videos before, I'm going to be sharing my personal journey as I try to regain my health, my fitness, my body composition, my brain back from the damage I've done during grad school. So kind of just like the freshman 15 that people talk about with undergrad. I am in grad school, and all of a sudden I made some bad choices. I'm going into a little bit more detail in the earlier video, but made some choices that kind of snowballed in. And while I'm here kind of learning and studying in order to be able to provide my patients and my clients the best information, protocols and plans and information on how to be healthy and to regain both their mental health and their physical health, I actually watched myself go from kind of in my best shape of my life a few years ago to probably the worst shape of my life. And I'm actually really grateful for it. As crazy as it sounds, I have 25 pounds to lose. And I have some symptoms I really want to correct. I really started to notice that my symptoms of ADHD are significantly more pronounced. My ability to articulate is impaired. My working memory is impaired. My motivation is impaired. I'm definitely disorganized, and my time management is definitely off. So I'm really looking for. I have some other physical symptoms. I went through the whole list in the last one, but essentially I've come up with a plan. I did a lot of prep. I went and did some data collection about myself. I got a DEXA scan and a metabolic and a VO2 max. I've been weighing and measuring, taking pictures of myself, trying to get a real good baseline, and wrote down and went through and paid attention both physically and mentally. All of the different symptoms that I've noticed have been really kind of increased over the last year or so, that I've been making these, everything in my lifestyle has shifted, where I used to be super active and I was outside all the time and my circadian rhythm was healed and I was out hiking and going to the gym and lifting and running and doing a variety of different things. I've been very sedentary over the last year or 2 years. And as I near the end of the end of my program, I'm really looking forward to kind of end it strong and kind of regain all my health. And I'm going to share with you guys when I do that, the ups and downs, what works, what doesn't work. So I am a big fan of getting some of that data. You can see that I have a ring con. It's kind of like an Aura ring, but a different version, to help with my sleep and my steps and my HRV. I also have a Morpheus coming, which is a chest strap, which will help me to both to target my workouts. So, there's a certain part of the week that I'm really going to want to be in zone 2 for my fat loss. There's the Morpheus also looks at my HRV every day, so that if, say, I'm training too hard or I'm, say, fighting something off, or I'm really stressed, it'll actually alter my goals for the week for how my HRV is, how I'm recovering, and then tie in, what my caloric intake and output is, and all sorts of different like data that you can kind of plug into it. And it really helps you, and it keeps it throughout the week. So say I've done a ton of zone 2 and they're like, you need to do way more like high intensity or I've been doing high intensity all week and they really want me to take it down and do some zone 2. So it kind of brings it all through and kind of balances out your week. So that's the Morpheus. And my friend John Brandy uses it. He lives in Austin. For those of you who grew up with me, he grew up in Abington with me, but he uses that as a professional coach, working with people. They actually go to DexaFit, get their numbers, and then that's one of the tools that he uses is the Morpheus. So I got that little tip from him. I'll let you know how it works out. So I have my Ring-Con. I'm getting my Morpheus coming. I use the DexaFit to get some of my information. I've been tracking my sleep and HRV, my weight, my measurements. I took a picture, and for me, the three different things, I guess, for my movement. So we've talked about movement before, but I like to break it down into 3 things. So you have ambulatory movement, so that's like walking, running, how you get from one place to another. 2 is going to be your fitness, right? So going to the gym. 3 is going to be your mobility. So my plan for each one is again, going back to this, so really making sure that I'm getting my steps. I'm trying to take at least one walk every single day in addition to my workout. That gets me outside, gets me into the light and into nature. And also gets me my mobility, to rack up my mobility with the goal of like 12,000 steps a day, somewhere between 10 and 12. Because when I'm seeing patients, so my steps have significantly decreased, because when I work in an ER, I run around like crazy. Like sometimes I can get 20 plus in a day, 1,000. But when I am sitting and having conversations with patients during my clinical rotation, it's a lot more sedentary. So I'm going to have to really take and make an effort to run outside in between patients, to run around. Today I was like running around the office in between patients, just trying to get some steps and just get some movement in so I wasn't sedentary throughout the entire day. Because obviously a big part of being a psych NP is sitting, listening, having a conversation, interacting with the patient. So it's a little bit different than my ER experience. Mobility is, I have promised myself to do 30 minutes a day of mobility, whether that's tied into the gym. It doesn't have to be 30-minute chunks, so I can do it periodically throughout the day. Yoga mat, foam roller, a couple of different tools to really help facilitate that. And I'm going to try to get back into the habit of going to a hot yoga class once or twice a week, just to try to add some of those mobility, but on a daily basis, making sure that I'm integrating that in through my day. So that's my movement. Food-wise, I am taking a program with a doctor out of Arizona who I really like. Her name's Courtney Hunt. And my plan is actually a little bit different than what I usually do. So again, I don't think that necessarily everybody has to fast or put themselves in ketosis, but for me, it works really well. So this is I'm going to be doing a program where I combine the utilization of some fasting, ketosis, and some calorie restriction, but also with a refeed planned in each week. So there's a flow of the week where one day will be like a 24-hour fast. The rest of the days will have some level. I will be in ketosis, but I'll be eating at breakfast and lunch definitely every day, if not also dinner. But then maybe fasting some nights. And keeping my calories under a particular, even though I'll be in ketosis, also watching my calories throughout the, as it adds in for the whole week. And then a refeed with some additional carbohydrates on a day later in the week, so that you have a cyclic where you're fasting some of the time, you're feasting some of the time, and you have some regular just maintenance days in between. And doing things to really try to increase my autophagy during those fasting times, like utilization of berberine, utilization of movement. Also, as far as supplements go, I am using T2, berberine. I take iodine every day. I make sure that my electrolytes and minerals are on par. I use Redmond's Real Salt. I use a couple of different electrolyte supplements, lots of water, but really high quality, real spring water coming from a good source. L-theanine. Do some MCT oil. I use Keto Brains in my coffee some mornings. I really like that. It has the L-theanine, alpha GPC, and MCT, and lion's mane. And that combination for me is really good for my brain. It's like a natural creamer that goes in your coffee. So I think that's a bit. I use magnesium at night, and I use roseola for my symptoms where I really want to try to get my brain kind of organized. That really works for me. So that's what I'm doing as far as supplement wise. So we talked about exercise and movement, data collection and monitoring. Really going to be focusing on getting my sleep as deep as possible. I don't use anything usually for sleep. I sleep very well. What I do for my sleep hygiene is, in the first thing when I wake up in the morning, I make sure that I go outside immediately and I get as much time as I can out in that. I look towards the east, not right at the sun, but I try to get up around sunrise, and I'm really going to try to commit for the next 30 days to be up at sunrise and to be able to watch that light come into my eyes. The morning light is one of the most healing, therapeutic things that you can do when you want to entrain your circadian rhythm. those lights come in, they get trapped in your retina. The retina communicates down through to your hypothalamus where your suprachiasmatic nucleus is. And that suprachiasmatic nucleus is the conductor for the rest of your circadian rhythm. So, and you have period cells and circadian rhythm. You have cells that are communicating with your circadian rhythm throughout your entire body. They're like little clock genes throughout your body. And it is circadian dysfunction is tied into psychiatric disease, metabolic disease, you name it, it is tied into it. It is so important to have a healthy circadian rhythm. There's multiple things that play a part of that. It begins in the morning with morning light. If you can get your feet or your hands on the ground at the same time, because although people kind of think, like, we talk about grounding and people are like, oh, it seems like so crunchy, but it really, so you want to get out there, you want to get lights in your eyes, and if you can get your feet on the ground, because you're not only getting your circadian rhythm entrained from the light that comes in your eyes or it hits your skin, but you're also from the geoelectromagnetic forces in the earth actually helps to communicate deep into your mitochondria when you make connection to the earth. So that is the first thing I do for my sleep. The other thing is, as the sun starts throughout the day, I try to get at least 3 10 to 30 minute breaks, morning, afternoon, and evening, of sun exposure. And then as the sun starts to set, get yourself a good pair of blue blocking glasses. So, and then at least an hour, if not more, away from your bedtime, you want to be starting to shut down your screens. I really encourage people to go back to either communicating with each other, having talks. Sitting around a fire is amazing. There's actually some research that shows that looking down at a fire at night actually stimulates the growth of stem cells and stimulates a lot of really good healing properties inside of our bodies. Or just reading an old-fashioned book. Like, so many people, and I love a Kindle. I use my Kindle. I put all my textbooks on a Kindle, but using a Kindle in bed, using your phone in bed, watching TV in bed, very bad for your sleep hygiene. Your room should become your cave. So you want it cool and you want it dark, and you can have it quiet, or you can have some sort of like a brown or a white noise, or maybe some meditation music. And then I really encourage people to do some sort of, I don't want too much electromagnetic field around me when I'm sleeping, but that's why I like the Ring, because I feel like it's less than my watch, but a watch will do it too. And really being able to track how much REM you're getting, how much deep sleep you're getting. It really plays a big part in health, healing, and prevention of dementia and other cognitive decline as you get older, and also for your mental health here and now, as far as brain fog and anxiety and depression, ADD symptoms. So we talked about sleep. Hydration is really big, but not in the way that, like, I would really want you to do nice, high quality water if you can. I think that's most of my plan. So I'm really going to try to sleep really good. So I'm going to focus really deep on my sleep, really deep on my circadian rhythm. When you get your circadian rhythm well and you sleep well, then your leptin starts to come back into balance. Your leptin's back in balance, and that can help bring your insulin back in balance. Sleeping helps to bring your insulin back into balance, bring your glucose maintenance back into balance. See, this stuff all kind of ties in. You can actually dysregulate your metabolism, dysregulate your glucose metabolism or glucose regulation just by not having a good night's sleep. So it's really, really, really important. So, and we'll do some videos on leptin, insulin, glucose, all of the metabolic aspect of this, but this is just kind of sharing my plan. So that's my plan as I move forward. I'm also going to utilize sauna and cold, obviously, as we move forward too. So, all right, guys, I will keep you updated. Have a good day. Bye.